Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're looking at the NR 1100 Slicer Droid. This droid is used to hack into restricted data networks. So we're getting into the world of espionage here today. Characteristics: the NR 1100 had a small body with a weak repulsor lift engine for movement. It had two long arms with fingers that could be used as data probes. It had a SCOMP link port centrally located in the lower body. Had a compound scanners. It had compound scanners along with its elongated cranium, and was not equipped with a vocabulator. It had a small self-destruct charge to prevent it from falling into enemy hands, or it, uh, or to protect the data it recovered. The droid was also equipped with a sound dampener for covert operations, and it had a cost of roughly about 16,430 credits when new. In history of this, the NR 1100 was designed by the New Republic Department of Research and Development to assist with cracking the Imperial Information Center. After the New Republic took control of Coruscant for this assignment, they were generally hardwired into place near a mainframe access port. They were also used to infect Imperial networks with viruses or steal important data from protected computer networks. So this comes to us from the Essential Guide to Droids, the official Star Wars Fact File 41, and Galaxy of Intrigue. And I'm not certain if this is going to be a West End Games or if this is going to be a Wizards of the Coast. So let's see. Taking a look here, publisher. I don't see. This is from 2006, so this would definitely be. Um, Actually, this is from Del Rey. I don't think that this is actually from any of the role playing games. I think this is just some of the other stuff from the different. Just trying to figure this out. I don't think this is actually from a role playing game. I think this is just something that they had done on their own and just went from there. So, it's another one of those things we don't typically. Yeah, I know the guys that I run with, we've kind of run into some of these issues once in a while, but not too much in the espionage sense. We're usually a little bit more of run and gun and that type of stuff. But, it does add extra depth into the galaxy at large. All right, so then when we look at this in the D6 stats, um, being what it is, the dexterity of a 1D. So we've already established, as I kind of mentioned before, it doesn't have a great sense of movement, and it was never really designed for that. Typically, they had created these kind of set them in a spot and let it just do its job, and then they would link into it and get whatever information they could. And for the times that it was actually used out and about, then they made sure that they had the explosive charge that it could self-destruct to keep it from incriminating whoever had sent it to wherever they needed it to be. So a dexterity of 1 makes a lot of sense. Knowledge is a 2D. Bureaucracy is a 5D. Languages is a 4. Even though it doesn't really speak anything, it still understands them. Mechanical, they're again not really needing any big skills in there as a 1D. Perception is a 2D. So search is a 3D plus 2, and investigations is a 4D plus 2, which I guess does make some sense, trying to figure out what files are what. Strength, of course, is going to be a 1D. There's not a lot of need for it to be very robust or being able to actually lift all that much. Technical, now this is where it's really going to strive. Computer programming repair is an 8D. Droid programming is a 6D. Encryption is a 7D. And security is a 9D. So, really, like it was stated, it has that singular purpose. Um, and understanding like the bureaucracy of the empire, so it knew where to look under the computer program repair. You know, you kind of figure out which one is going to have to do at the time or whatever. So it does have a repulsor lift engine, which it did say was very minor. Let's see, two manipulator arms with data probe fingers, scomp link, computer port, uh, compound scanners, has a move of 6. Now keep in mind your galactic standard for most beings is going to be a 10. Until you start getting some of the smaller, shorter beings or whatever, then it'll drop down here. So this is a slower moving unit. It is 1.2 meters tall, so a little bit bigger than an R2 unit. The fact that it also is floating and putting it probably about your standard galactic being height, uh, it's just nothing underneath there. So it's another one of those. It's a droid that we don't typically think of. It's going to be out there. People are going to use, whatever we can come up with. And there are droids out here that I've often thought are probably going to be out there that have never been published, and I don't think I'm ever going to touch because of the nature, and I don't think YouTube likes some of that stuff. But being people, beings being beings, and we see some of the allurement of certain individuals. Uh, I'm sure that someone's come up with a droid for pretty much any use whatsoever, whether it's just like what we talk about today in the creation of the robots or droids that we have, so we can put them down in the sewer units so they can clean up some of the refuse that's down there or whatever else. They don't have to worry about any nauseous gases or anything else. That is where, in today's modern day, they're trying to come up with things, droids that can go up and down ladders, through manhole covers, and do all that. In space, they're trying to work on droids to be able to assist out in space because they can be out there without having to worry about the oxygen in a zero-G gravity. Uh, Stuff like that. They can be out there longer. So we can come up with a droid for pretty much any kind of need that's out there, whether it's just sweeping the floor, trying to teach our kids, or driving cars, or so on and so forth. So, with that being said, it's always nice being able to see different droids like this, bring us into a realm of a greater galactic society, whether it's a good or kind of sometimes bad society, um, trying to hack into people's information, all that. Not necessarily the best thing, but it's being done by a government to try and figure out what kind of secrets the empire was hiding, so that way they can hopefully keep some of these things from happening and hurting people. So, but there's always a great care in doing that, because sometimes people will say, well, why don't we use it for this or that? And then, that's when we start getting down a very deep and dark hole. So, as always, it's great having you stop by and visit. I always appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this series as I bring more interesting things, hopefully, to the limelight that most people don't get to see. Uh, Hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.